What the heck has she been doing in the last 3.5 years? January 6th, he is responsible for that.
He was a president.
Exactly. That's my point.
And he said the same shit about the elections, 2020 elections that he won. The same.
Well, then again, 2020 election, come on, guys.
So, friends, the US presidential election debate was held yesterday, September 10. According to me, Kamala Harris did a pretty good job. She was clear, she was concise, and discussed specific data points and metrics in her conversation. On the contrary, my biggest takeaway about Trump was that he just played a blame game on Democrats and Harris. He never spoke about what Republicans are going to do if he gets elected as the president. But despite this, Harris was fairly defensive, according to me, and was a little bit on the back foot. Her body language was kind of like a school-going kid.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
In the entire debate, she was just looking at Trump every time he was talking, and Trump didn't care for her. That's my thought here. So,
he said, the baby will be born and we will decide what to do.
This is all we are going to discuss today on Desi Vibes. Welcome back once again, and I'm once again here with Arun Singh and Sharan Rao. Welcome, Arun. What do you think of last night's debate? Nice to have you once again.
Same here, Anshul, and Soren, good to see you. Where was Biden last night? Oh, wait a minute. There's a coup happened at the White House after that first debate when Biden was so horrible. Quickly, all the media in favor of Democrats and the big cheeses of the Democrat Party, Clintons and Obama, quickly put together a peaceful coup at the White House where the existing president was taken out without a single bullet being fired. No military involved. Fantastic. Great day for democracy. From all the champions who call the democracy is in danger, nice job. Set up the stage for the next presidential candidate. Last night, Anshul, I would say Trump did not have a good night. He was not composed. Kamala Harris got under his skin again and again, threw him off his game. And instead of sticking to the issues, he just kind of lost it. I mean, he got in the cats and dogs avenue. I mean, he got caught up with that. But, the election is not lost or won on the debate night. But certainly last night, Trump did not help his supporter by a whole lot with his content. He should have stayed with the main topics of economy, immigration, foreign policy. And he just got out from those three strong points that he possesses. So all in all, Trump could have done better. He was not helped by the moderator, who just fact-checked him 5 times. And how many times they fact-checked Kamla was 0. And Mr. Trump, all he did, just kept overstepping one after the other to provide free hit to come last night.
Sharan, I'm sure you have some strong opinions out here.
Let me guess, he will talk about January 6th for like 95% of his speech.
Oh, yeah.
Well, until I don't think we saw the same debate, because I think Kamla came across as extremely strong and confident last night. But regardless, last night, I'll talk about the debate. Last night was a joke. The poll is tied. It's a tight race at this point in time, but it's a joke that it's come this far, given this guy who lies, who has no character, basically was frowning all the time, got rattled by simple questions, by talking about crowd sizes. She could rattle him, and he was lying his way through everything. And we are thinking of electing this guy to be the next president of America. Give me a break, guys. When asked about Jan 6th insurrection, he denied having anything to do with that. He said, well, I was called for it. I just went for the meeting and that was it. He lied that Nancy Pelosi and the mayor or somebody did not call National Guards. That was a flat out lie. Everybody knows that he denied the 2020 election. It has never happened in the history of this country. He denied that, because of which his poor supporters got an uprising and decided to meet to force the Congress, force Mike Pence to overturn the results of the election. And when they couldn't do it, they stormed the Capitol. Donald Trump just gave a speech and walked out of there. Why? Because he lost the election despite multiple judicial challenges. He didn't win. He didn't like the results of the election. He was the freaking president for 4 years. He could have done something about the election commission. He could have revamped the election commission. When he won in 2016, it was fair. Now, when he didn't win in 2020, everything was gone to hell, and he refused to call Biden to congratulate him. That's just poor taste. And this was the debate. He said this over and over again. He was espousing the same lies that he won into 2020 and didn't have anything to do with Jan 6th. And of course, about dogs and cats. Every time now my dog hears the word Haiti, he runs to the basement. It's traumatized him so much.
I think at that point of time, sorry for interrupting, Shorin, the Jan 6 thing, I think as a leader, as an ex-leader of this country, he should have taken some responsibility to that. Because the moderator asked him 3 times, hey, do you take responsibility of that? He started giving all these reasons. And neither Arun knows, nor you know, nor I know what is the truth behind it. We don't know. We are following whatever the media or the news feed us, we believe in that. And it's not in America only, it's everywhere. So, but the way things have gone, January 6th, he is responsible for that.
He was a president.
Exactly. That's my point. He's the leader of the country. He should have said, yes, I apologize or I take responsibility, but I was not fully responsible for it, for whatever reasons. But this guy never said, he'll never apologize.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it happened on his watch. I mean, all you could have said, it was unfortunate. It should have never happened. And, he's responsible because he was president. Whether it was his fault or not, he's responsible. But, he's not known to taking the high road. That's the issue.
And he said the same shit about the elections, 2020 elections that he won. The same.
Well, then again, 2020 election, come on, guys. You guys spent 4 years trying to indict him on the Russian hoax, Russian collusion. You guys spent 4 years.
Okay.
So that election he did win, but the Democrats refused to accept him that he won. And you guys tried to indict him for 4 years on hoax, Russian collusion. That never happened. So that one, you cannot fault him for that one.
Hillary conceded the election. She did not challenge one election result that happened in 2016, Arun. Yes, they went after illegal practices by Trump. It's not to overturn the election. It's because of election practices, right? That could have happened. So there is nobody who denied the election that he was not elected in 2016. That was completely legitimate. Nobody's questioning that.
Democrats just kept looking for something that was not there. The whole Russian collusion hoax was not there. So what they found out? A phone call to Ukraine. Imagine that. A phone call. You want to indict a president for making a phone call to Ukraine. And fast forward 2 years later, you guys doing business with Ukraine with all the impressions of Biden being corrupt, but none of that is happening. So yes, he won the election 4 years. But Democrats spent 4 years trying to get back at him.
There was a phone call to Ukraine where Trump said, in lieu of holding back military aid, he wanted email servers to be placed, indicting Biden. And there are tapes clearly to do that. But that's an entirely separate topic.
We are talking about Trump. I get a feeling that between 3 of us, we love Trump. That's the reason we are talking about Trump. I do agree that both of them, I saw the blame game between them, which is quite normal between any politician, whether it is United States or India or any other country. I felt that Trump was more assertive as he discussed the issues, but I was talking earlier, no data points were given, which Kamala Harris was given, so which I liked about her. Coming to Kamla, without talking about the issues right now, because we are going to do another episode on that, she played a very emotional role throughout her debate. She just repeated the same stuff, what she has heard from the people of America. She's just repeating all that. Whatever campaign she has done, she's talking to different people. And the question only I have, and we will have to see how much of all this gets implemented once she gets elected as president? Because I still haven't received an answer to my question, which I raised last weekend to Shorin. We all know that in the last about year and a half, Biden was not functioning as a president. His title was still president, but there are other people around him in the periphery of Biden who were making decisions. What the heck has she been doing in the last 3.5 years? And I'd really thank Mr. Trump for stealing my question over there. Seriously, at the end of the debate, he did ask that. What the heck was she doing? Whatever she's talking these days or last night, why was she not talking about these things? Or I understand there was no debate, but at least she could have implemented some of those things or taking some initiatives on that front. What do you think?
Well, do you remember what Mike Pence did during 4 years of Trump administration, or what Joe Biden did during 8 years of Obama administration? Because vice presidents are ceremonial heads. They don't do anything.
I know what Dick Cheney did. He started wars.
Except for Dick Cheney, who was the most consequential vice president of our times, and of course Al Gore, who invented the internet. Nobody of any administration has done much. So there is Kamala Harris is not any exception. The vice president has no powers, and it's just a ceremonial post. The president does not cede any powers to the vice president because they are the alpha male, and that is how it has been typically in this country. So I will not fault her for not doing anything of the past 3.5 years. Now, whatever she promises to do, and if she wins, if she delivers, you can definitely question her and bring her to the mat on that.
But Shorin, here's my take. Whatever past stories you are talking about, none of the presidents at that point of time were suffering from Alzheimer's. Even if it is not Alzheimer's, he has something that he can't remember. You ask him a question in north, he walk towards south, and all those things are happening. We are seeing that.
True.
That is for the first time. But the country is still supposed to be run, even if president is there, his name is there, Biden is the president. But who is making those decisions? I can bet it's not Biden. Someone is making those decisions.
Yeah, it's typically the chief
Let
of
me
staff.
ask you, who's running the country right now?
Exactly.
Who is running the country?
If y'all think the presidents really run the country, then y'all are gravely mistaken, right? There is a staff. There are secretaries.
Oh, so there you go. So
departments.
that means there's people behind the curtain pulling the strings. That's
Yeah.
exactly a deep state running the country. Thank you very much, Soren.
That is the same for Trump as well, right? It's the same for every president.
No. Trump was firing all those. He was draining the swamp. That's why judiciary, FBI, everybody wants to take him down. That was the only president that can stand up against the deep state. That's why everybody's after him.
This is a MAGA
right now, the
conspiracy.
Bidens, the Obamas, and Kamala, they'll be pulling the strings, and the wars will never end.
This is
Because
just
all
like the
these
dog
guys
and
are
cat story.
hanging out in the military canteen, making their big bucks. You want to go on this Washington K Street? 35,000 lobbyists registered. Trump did not like one of them. This is what's going on in all.
Instead of K Street, they used to hang around in Trump International in Washington, D.C., Aaron. So it was just a change of place that happened. His son-in-law, Kushner, got billions out of Saudi Arabia.
They
And
were
now he's
billionaires
in
before.
politics.
So what has changed?
It happened in the past 4 years when Trump was the president. He made these deals with the Saudis.
People talked about he will just buy everything in America. None of that happened. He's the only president that did not take the annual salary. Come on, what are you talking about?
That is all hogwash. That is all just
You
for
think
show.
that's hogwash? He never took salary and donated every penny for years in the office? Go check it out.
He's made millions on the side because of deals that his son-in-law.
Damn he does, and damn if he doesn't. He just can't win.
This is just MAGA conspiracy theory, Aaron. We heard about dogs and cats being eaten last night, right? Which we know is hogwash. And Trump said, I saw it on TV. Which TV did he see? I mean, this is just ridiculous, right? Running for president of a country is spouting such nonsense. It's just ridiculous. And you guys are lapping it up, right? And then at the end of the debate, they say all kinds of blame are being placed. Now they say it's the moderator is 3 against 1. And basically, people are also saying that Kamala Harris won earrings, which had hearing aids. and that was cheating. So now all kinds of excuses are being made on account of Trump because he screwed up the debate. So this is what is going to happen during the elections as well, which I'm afraid if Trump loses, and Trump will definitely lose, and if he loses by a small margin, people are going to come out to the street, and I hope this is controlled. But again, they are going to make excuses. The MAGA nation is going to make excuses for him, and it's not going to be good. It's going to be worse than Jan 6th for you. Okay, folks, so here we are at the end of an interesting conversation. We'll continue this talk about the issues in part 2. But really quickly, wrapping up this, I'll quickly ask my friends here. So, Anshul, you go first. Who do you think won the debate, and will it have any consequences on the elections?
I think hands down, Kamala Harris won the debate. She was, like, I've mentioned all these things earlier also, but it is Kamala Harris. And I personally feel that this will be a huge impact on the people of America. And I have a feeling that she's going to win this election.
Thank you. Arun, I'll ask you the same question and your reaction.
I mean, last night debate, definitely Kamala Harris came prepared, aided by all the moderators and all the softball questions, not getting fact checked. And Trump, she got under his skin, and he just got off his game, never could ever get back. So last night it was Kamala, but this election is far from being over. It's going to come down to those 4 or 5 states, states that we live in: North Carolina, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin. Those are the 5 states will decide the election, not the rest of the country. But I think it's a long ways to go. Most likely there will be another debate, I think, because Kamala Harris team, they feel like they won the debate, and let's get the second one and, knock him out of the park. And Trump team has to decide. I think American public needs to hear more from them on substance and policy. So I hope we get to see the second debate.
Thank you. As for me, I think, Kamala Harris came getting better of Donald Trump, but debates rarely decide anything other than it was such a big disaster like what had happened to Biden. But we have about 60 more days to go, and a lot can happen in those 60 days. I agree with you, Arun. We have some time to go. And if Kamala doesn't, tip the scales pretty badly, I think it's her election to lose. But we'll see in the next 60 days. Coming up soon, we have another episode coming up. We'll talk a deep dive into some of the issues that were discussed last night and that are affecting us. Please tune in. Please share, subscribe, and comment if you like this one, and tune in for more. Good evening, good day, good night to everybody. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.